We got a little break in the weather for a couple of days, so I've been taking advantage of it to get a little bit done out here. Sunday was dry, so I worked on the tracks for the PC30 excavator. I've been babying that track on the excavator for several years now. It was so worn and so loose that it kept popping off, but it had one link on it that was partway broken, and it just broke to the point where it wouldn't stay on anymore. We put it aside while I worked on other things here this summer. I worked on it Sunday and got it broke down and got that link off there and the pins out of it and everything, got it ready to put back together with a link out of it. And then Monday was kind of nasty again. It started raining and whatnot. Judy had her chicken feed order. We had to go to town and get it, but it was raining and kind of nasty, so we got it covered up, brought it home, and then we stuck it in the hangar. And we had a forecast where the winds were going to die down and the weather was going to be halfway decent. So I got a call Monday to go flying. We'd been doing some flying, closing out the season and stuff, doing peak surveys, and then we're starting on the fall chum surveys where we have a late run of chum salmon, dog salmon, in a couple of systems here in the late summer, early fall. So we were finishing up the peak surveys for the pinks and starting on the chum salmon surveys there, and I would have had a few flights on that, but that weather just slammed shut with the high winds and heavy rains and stuff like that, and we couldn't get to it anymore. I thought it was pretty much done for the year, but I got a call Monday to go out and do another chum salmon survey Tuesday. Tuesday turned out to be a pretty nice day. It was foggy in the morning, but we got off about 10 o'clock and flew for about 3 hours or so and did some surveys. Now they might be the last ones to do this year. I don't know. They might be another one, but we'll figure it's the last one. I got home and helped Judy finish putting her chicken food away and worked on that track, got it back together and mounted on the excavator, so the PC30's back in operation again now. It's still wore out, clapped out machine, but it's back in operation again now. We had another good day yesterday. I put some more house wrap up, and with that heavy wind and heavy rain, that wall over there on that east side got wet, and I didn't want to put any house wrap on it until we had a few days for it to dry out. Well, it got dried out pretty good, so yesterday I got some more house wrap and I finished that off, and then I went up above on the house where we'd torn the house wrap off of this north side of the house, and I put house wrap up on that and got that sealed in. Puttered around with a few other things, but that was kind of the end of the day for me. Oh, I got to put some house wrap on this gable end here of this addition, and I may be able to get up there and put some house wrap up on the gable end of the main house. I don't know. I used some spray-in foam, some expanding canned foam, and went around on the inside of the addition and sealed up most of the gaps and stuff in there. Like there's a pretty good gap in there where that end truss right there sits on top of that wall, but there's some places there that didn't get all the way through, so I'm going to get some canned sealant and seal that up a little bit better, and then I'll put that house wrap up there. I cut that piece a little short. I don't know why. I had it in the basement and I rolled it out the full width of the basement and added extra onto it. I thought it was going to be long, if anything, but it wound up being short. But that's all right. I got extra pieces. It doesn't make too much difference because this is not going to be the final house wrap stuff here. This is just on here to protect this until we get a chance to get to working on this again. I've got some rain shield stuff to put on there that a friend of mine gave me. It sticks onto the wall, and then it's got channels in it, so any moisture that builds up between the exterior siding and the wall has a place to run down out of there, and it doesn't just sit in and mold in the wall and cause it to rot. So this stuff is just on there to protect it for now from the rain and from the weather. Now I got to get another piece to splice on there, but that's okay because I forgot to take a knife or anything with me to cut off the excess on that. So I'll get that done, and then I'll see if I can get done up on that gable end of the big house. Our weather window is supposed to end here this afternoon, and you can see the clouds coming in. We're supposed to start getting 100% chance of rain again with a ½ inch to 2 inches a day for the foreseeable future. So I want to get a few things done out here outside while we have decent weather to get it done in. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go get a knife and extra piece of material and get up there and finish this gable end off anyway. Well, barring any storm damage or anything that might happen in the near future, I think I'm done with the outside of the house for a while. I got the outside of that addition all covered with house wrap, all 3 sides and the gable end. Got that east side dried out pretty good the last couple days, so I went ahead and covered that up, and then I just did that gable end. It was actually not wet or anything, but just to make sure and protect it from the elements, I covered it up. And then I tore off quite a bit of that material up there on that end wall of the house, put new house wrap up on that. And then up there on the gable end of the house, that's been torn off there from the weather for quite a while, and I went ahead and put house wrap on it. Now I just cobbled that together out of scraps and stuff that were left over from the rest of it, but it's good enough to protect it from the elements for the time being. None of that is permanent. But anyway, I'm done with the outside of the house now. We did get the new door for the addition of the house, but probably not going to put it in for a while. I want to get that insulated inside there, and there's a few other things to do inside of that addition, so I can do that on the rainy days and stuff. And it's going to be rainy days here pretty soon. It's clouding up pretty fast now. You can see the big cumulus clouds rolling in now, and the sun's just about covered up. We got no more clear sunshine. It's coming, the rain is coming, and the forecast doesn't show any let up for the next few days. Been pretty nice the last couple of days. In fact, it cleared off completely last night, and we came out about midnight and watched the northern lights, or as the anal retentive like to say, the aurora borealis. My wife got some decent pictures of that last night. She's been trying for a long time to get pictures with her phone of that, and she finally got a few that turned out pretty good. Well, anyway, that was kind of fun. We don't very often get to see the northern lights. Usually when they're out, we're clouded up and rainy, and that's the way it's going to be for the next few days too. Anyway, I guess it's indoor projects, or not projects that aren't going to be out in the weather and getting too wet for the next few days. I've got work to do on my dump trailer. I got all that lumber and stuff that I had moved around out from behind the house, so we had room to work back there. I got it out of the lower or that upper pad up there, so I can put my trailers up there and get them out of the way, and then I can dig out my float plane trailer when it's time to get it out. And I think the next project on the house is going to be working on the front porch. I've got all the material cut for that and ready to go. We've got it stacked up there. I just need to get a plan made for that, get started on doing that. It's going to be timber frame. So that's the next outdoor project on the house that I can think of now, but of course you never do anything in any kind of logical order. It's all just willy-nilly. Anyway, Judy's got some lunch fixed for me. I'm going to have a bite to eat now, and then we'll go find something else to do before it starts pouring down rain.